I'm curious if you are with me or you're not concerned on this area of the Eagles. So, mini camp's been going on, OTAs and all that, right? And the Eagles lost so much from one area, and I feel like it's a thing that we're just assuming they're going to be okay there. So last year, the Eagles' defensive line and edge rushers as a whole were just really deep, right? They didn't have a Myles Garrett, but they had a lot there. They set waves at the quarterback, as we saw in the Super Bowl. And I'm looking at it right now, looking at that depth chart, and it's like, look, Jalen Carter's a great player. I believe in Nolan Smith. But after those two, we lost Milton Williams. We lost Josh Sweat. Jordan Davis, we're all hoping that the breakout's finally coming. Eagles picked up that fifth-year option. We got the rookie Ty Robinson, Azeez Ojulari. But it feels thin to me, especially when you add in the retirement of Brandon Graham. I want to see how we go out this summer, right, between now and opening night against the Cowboys, and add something. Whether it be a star that wants out of a team, maybe we'll get to a name or two here, or just like another depth piece. I feel like we're thin at the part of our defense last year that really was deep. Where do you come down on the defensive line? Do we need to add something there?
I don't think we need to. Now, if they did, I wouldn't be upset, especially if it is a huge name and it's something that's, 17 and a half sacks, and he's not thrilled with his current spot. Like, of course, I would never be disappointed with a move like that from Howie. But as we sit here right now, I don't think they need to. I actually am really buying into Peloton Davis. I am buying
So this is the year he stays in shape.
Yeah,
okay.
You know what? And here's the thing. I was always worried that he didn't have the skill set. Like, they're asking him to be a pass rusher when he's just not a pass rusher. But I'm starting to wonder, is there something to the madness? Now, not everybody's trajectory is the same. He had to learn how to do this at this level and to be, the guy that he is, and he has to get in shape, and he has to learn that, and it just took him a longer time than others, whatever. But I'm buying into Peloton Davis. I think Jalen Carter can continue to take strides. I mean, hell, we're told he doesn't even know what the position is yet.
Yeah, which is amazing.
If those two are improving, you slot in a Ty Robinson that can help out for the loss of Milton Williams. He had 7 sacks last year from the interior.
The Vanilla Gorilla?
Yeah, I'm just saying. And you brought up the name that I'm going to say he's sliding under the radar as someone who I think could actually be a name that we rely on this year. I think Ojulari is going to be a player. Like, I really do think Ojulari is going to leave the Giants, come here. Vic Fangio is going to have his fingerprints all over this, and he's going to help. And a name that we're not talking about enough either is I think Jahad Campbell is going to make an impact with pass rush. So it may look different. It may be a different style to the eye, but I think they could still get the same level of production even without Josh Sweat. Look, Josh Sweat, he kind of went in waves. He's got the nice wave, and then he dies out a little bit, and he's got the nice wave. And he's a good player and a starter, don't get me wrong. But I think there are ways, even with Jalix Hunt, to find a way to contribute the same amount of sacks. It just looks different. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, when you said all those names individually, especially Ojulari, because you look at early in his career, like some of his production compared to young Hassan Reddick, it's kind of similar. Like there could be a breakout from Ojulari. I agree with you. I like all of them individually. My concern is we're just not that deep. Like if Azeez Ojulari gets hurt, what are we doing off the edge? You know what I mean? Like we're hoping Jahad Campbell can just like do it, and though he hasn't done it much. And if you have an injury on the defensive line, whether it be God forbid Carter, but like
that would set everything up.
Even if Davis or Jomo get hurt, it just feels thin. I feel like we are thin at an area the Eagles are always deep, and that concerns me. All right, let's hear from Jalen Carter, because you mentioned Ty Robinson, and maybe they got a steal there in the 4th round. Listen to what Jalen Carter said at OTAs about Ty Robinson and what maybe he's ready to do this year as a rookie.
Boy, fire. I ain't gonna lie, he moving good. He a big boy. I seen his highlights before he came, knew what they was talking about, and, he here and he working. I think he's gonna have a big impact this season.
Well, man, why was he a 4th-round pick? Because every highlight I've seen, it's like he could play.
I know. It happens. Sometimes guys slip, and you just got to make sure you pounce at the right time. But, yeah, I mean, listen, one thing I want to give a lot of credit to, not just Nick Sirianni as the CEO head coach, but once you establish sort of your identity and brand as a team and an organization, you got to make sure the staff underneath of you succeeds.
Yep.
And I'm watching Quinyon Mitchell come in. And I know these guys have talent and all, but, I mean, when you see the amount of guys that come in and produce so early in their career at the clip that they do, I got to give a lot of credit to who's on the staff as well. And my point is maybe a Ty Robinson, not that he's going to be as elite as Quinyon was as a shutdown corner, but there's clearly a track record of this staff getting their hands on youth and plugging them in and right away having them be a really good version of effective. And maybe we see something similar with Ty Robinson. I used to be worried about that youth,
Rookie,
you're going to win.
Yeah.
But, I also think that the athlete itself has changed because these athletes are at 8, 9, 10 years old programmed to be ready at 21, where back in the day, you weren't as invested with dehydration and this and all that kind of stuff.
They're farther
different.
along now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So maybe that plays a role too.
And look, Howie has done a great job. So we're starting to all trust him in the draft. Like if he drafted Ty Robinson could probably play. I like all these guys individually. I guess the way I'd frame it is, last year they had a lot of count-on guys. I could count. You're right, Josh Sweat wasn't great, but I knew what I was getting, right? I could count on Josh Sweat. Brandon Graham was an ultimate count-on guy. I could count on whatever Brandon Graham had left in his body, he was going to give the Eagles. Milton Williams kind of became a count-on guy last season. We just have less count-on guys. I could count on Carter now. I think he's a special player. Jordan Davis, maybe Peloton Davis is count-on guy. The Jordan Davis I've seen so far is not a count-on guy.
Well, let me ask you this. If they were to make a move and it wasn't a big splashy one, but it's another depth piece.
A count-on guy?
Well, I was going to say, if they bring in something similar to an Ojulari, he probably won't be a, quote, count-on guy, but he'll be another addition to a team that you think is thin. How much does that move the needle for?
Well, it helps a little bit. It would make me feel a little bit better. And even, look, I didn't want Huff here anymore, but, it's another body that they subtracted. They subtracted a lot of bodies up front. 215-592-9494. Of course, a potential count-on guy. You kind of referenced him, Trey Hendrickson, one of our favorites. Now, before we get further into the conversation, we'll get back to your calls. Have you ever heard Hugh Douglas's take on Trey Hendrickson?
I don't believe I have.
Okay, so I'd say once every 2 or 3 days we bring up Trey Hendrickson unprompted.
Every day now.
Yeah, it's really every day. One, because he's a great player that's potentially available. Yep. But two, so we can hear this. So this was part of a conversation Hugh and I had about Trey, 2 months ago. Here it is. He's a good player. 17.5 sacks last year.
I like Trey. Excuse me.
Come on. There's no way that's real.
That's you?
That's even worse than the way that you guys explained it
Totally undoctored Helium Hugh,
Now, I have heard you guys bring up Trey because I listened to the station. I never heard the context of it. Now it's even better, but can I hear that again?
Yeah, let's hear it. He's a good player. 17.5 sacks last year.
I like Trey.
Come on, man. He sounds like a 6-year-old, 5-year-old trying to talk for the first time.
Sounds like he's blowing up a balloon. Kyle, where do you come down? Do we need a significant addition to the D-line?
So I don't know who needs Trey Hendrickson more, the Eagles or our show,
us,
for the purposes of abusing that. And Hugh's starting to get a little sensitive about it.
Yeah,
the more I played, he's like, "You really got to keep playing it?"
Yeah.
Yes. The answer is yes. I do. I don't know. I mean, no matter how syndromic you are about this Eagles team and coming off the Super Bowl run, they clearly could use more on the defensive line. You could never have enough pass rushers. I mean, especially edge rushers. You pair a guy like Trey Hendrickson, got, 16 sacks last season. You put him next to Jalen Carter, I mean, all hell's going to break loose.
Bark!
Yeah. I mean, tell him, Jolly. The defensive line, the loss of Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, and considering Jordan Davis, question mark. No matter how much he ran on the Peloton last year,
run on the Peloton.
Still a question mark. Whatever. Yeah, we ride the Peloton. No matter how much he's been doing that. Ojulari, a question mark. Josh Uche, I don't know if he's going to make the roster at the end of the day. And then you lose Milton Williams. It's just. There's too many question marks along the defensive line. I would like one more sure thing for me to feel good about it going into the season.
Yeah, I guess that's it. It's not – they don't have a lot of sure things, and it's a little thinner. People love to bring up Ojomo, right, and what he could become. And I think he could play a little bit, right? And saw him on the field. He got into the backfield. He has 0 career sacks since he got to the NFL. It's that's not a count-on thing. I could use a count on it. I'm wondering where everyone comes down on the Eagles. Do they need another defensive lineman edge rusher? 215-592-9494. That's how you hop board. All right, let's get back to the phones here. On the Phils, what's the bigger concern, the pitching right now or the offense? And the Eagles, a spot we never seem to need more. Do we need more on that defensive line? Bros doesn't think so, counting on Peloton Davis. I need more, and if it's Trey Hendrickson, think about it.
I wouldn't be mad.
I know.
If they bring in the Hendrickson.
Who would be?
Well,
have
maybe
I told
you?
He
would be mad.
Have I told you my idea to make the Hendrickson thing work?
No.
Because I know so every time we bring up Trey Hendrickson or T.J. Watt, people were like, well, the Eagles don't have enough money, right? They got to pay all their guys. So Hendrickson is a great player who's holding out in Cincinnati, doesn't want to be there because he feels disrespected, right? He's making $20 million, and the edge rushers in the NFL, the best ones, make $40 million. So I want to bring him in, I don't know, what second, third round pick, whatever it costs to rent him for 1 year. And I just want to boost up his salary for 1 year. Like, hey, Trey, we can't do it long term, but how about you come here? We have like $25 million in cap room. Take 10 or 15 extra million. You feel good about where you're at in terms of the edge rushers in the NFL, for this year. And you get to play for the Eagles, play in big games, and then you head out to free agency. I think he might be okay with that.
You sold me.
I'm in.
You sold me.
Howie, let's get
I
this
know.
done.
I mean, for as down as I am with the Phils, it's the complete opposite with the Birds. You sell me a good idea, I'm already riding high. We're good. I co-sign that any
You
day.
think you have the syndrome?
Does Bros have Super Bowl syndrome? Peloton Davis is Super Bowl syndrome.
That's a little syndromic.
Yeah,
but here's the thing.
Super Bowl syndrome is when someone can't see anything but the trophy being raised up.
Everything's fine next year, no matter what.
But I'm a Jalen guy because he's the greatest quarterback
that's
ever.
fine.
So when you have the greatest quarterback ever, then you're in the league. In the league. In the league. Well, he outduels Pat Mahomes every time they match up in the Super Bowl.
Sure does.
Well, he threw for like 100 yards in the Monday night game, and the defense won the game.
Well, Monday night. When did I say Monday night? I said Super Bowl.
Oh.
Yeah, Super Bowl.
But he didn't really outdo him in the first game.
I think so.
He fumbled.
Well, yeah, and also, what a response right after that. I mean, that's resiliency.
He gave up 7 points on offense.
Yeah, but then, boom, right before you know it, you're right back into the fight.
Continue. Best ever. Go ahead.
Yeah, well, he's just right now in the league. He's just when you have
right.
you're consistently in the mix.
Nobody better.
Think about it. 3 years in a row, you're winning double-digit games. In the NFL, you're winning double-digit games, win streak. I'm saying win streak throughout a regular season.
That's impressive.
Who does that?
The Eagles.
Exactly.
Yes.
With Jalen Hurts as the quarterback.
That's right. Yep.
Yeah.
And
the
not
Eagles
leading the league in
Hurts.
turnovers for 23
Eagles,
games.
Jalen Hurts, the quarterback, and then the Eagles. He's just got the it factor. It's unbelievable.
He has the it factor,
Yep.
and he's in the second tier of quarterbacks in the NFL.
Well, I mean, if that's your tier, my tier is it's him and then Pat Mahomes.
I'm glad we arrived here.
Yeah, I mean,
me too.
It was
I don't know.
inevitable.
Well,
we start with vanilla gorilla talk, and we get right here.
I'm obviously joking around a little bit, but my point is, I do have a lot of faith in the quarterback, and when I have this much faith in the quarterback, I think I'm always in a mindset where you're in a position to succeed.
Maybe by the end of the show, we'll diagnose you.
Yeah.
Right now, he's trending towards syndrome.
Well,
Peloton Davis, best quarterback in the league.
But
this is syndrome.
Yeah.
But can I have a Jalen? I feel like this is Jalen-centric. Because I'm that much of a believer in the quarterback.
It's like variants of like a disease or like a virus, right?
That might just be delusion, though.
Well, no. I mean, I watch the Super Bowl MVP. I mean, I know what I'm watching.
It's Jalen. That's Jalen derangement syndrome.
Yeah.
Where if there's Super
you know what
Bowl
the funny
syndrome.
part is that we obviously have a good quarterback here, right?
Yeah,
a winning quarterback, a championship level quarterback. And we still find something to argue about the quarterback.
Yeah, well, that's because you guys have
no.
You have the virus.
If people go too far, like Jalen Hurts. All right, now we're here. So
go ahead.
People could just never get enough.
Well,
we won the Super Bowl. It's great. It doesn't have to be the best.
Can I
ever.
give you
Let me give you the league?
Yeah.
All right. So your brain always goes to hockey. My brain goes to baseball. All right. I'm going to give you a comp.
Okay.
Derek Jeter was a great player.
Yeah.
Derek Jeter, 3,000 hits, Hall of Fame, all that, champion, winner. Derek Jeter wasn't Albert Pujols. He wasn't Barry Bonds. Wasn't Ken Griffey Jr. Like, why do we do this with Jalen? I think Jalen is the NFL's modern version of Derek Jeter. He got to a great franchise. He's a big reason why they win, right? I've given him credit for that. He's a winner. He's clutch. He's not Mahomes. He's not Burrow. He's not Allen.
Yeah, screw me with Josh Allen. What's next? Justin Herbert?
Yep,
I mean,
why not?
please,
No. Herbert crapped the bed in the postseason.
Okay,
He's
yes, he had
the bed.
turnovers. Josh Allen, all these turnovers. Yet our quarterback doesn't turn the one year Josh Allen doesn't turn it over. Wow. But yet Jalen doesn't turn the rock over when he's in his groove. He did early last season, but
because they made him stop throwing the football
but look at that Super Bowl. I think he was throwing the football beautifully.
One last thing.
Yep.
Josh Allen has a better interception percentage and a better sack percentage than Jalen in the playoffs.
Whoop-de-damn do.
I just needed to point out a fact.
I don't like
Allen
facts.
turnover thing.
I don't like facts.
We typically don't
Facts
either.
on WIP?
Yeah, we don't do facts.
Unless they help my narrative.
Yes. That's true. Let me give you one more. Okay, let me give you one more.
So you're telling me going to hockey, he's not Wayne Gretzky?
He's not Wayne
not
Gretzky.
Sidney Crosby?
I'll bring it back to football because we did the baseball. Now we're doing hockey.
Okay.
About 12, 13 years ago, Russell Wilson was a champion.
Yep.
Clutch, winner, all this stuff, right? On a great franchise.
Cornball, though.
Total,
Yes.
and he still is.
Clown.
But he had a run like Jalen's in right now where he was obviously one of the better quarterbacks in the league. I never thought Russell was as good as Breeze or Manning or Brady or whoever else you want to put in the top-ish of that realm. That's the way I view Jalen. Like, he's bumping up against it. He's in the conversation. But look at that PFF list that came out, right? That's what we're all kind of basing this off of 2 weeks ago. I thought it was so fair. There was so much anger, and I'm like, if they put him 9 behind Justin Herbert, then let's flip out. 5,
well, I'm
like, this is fine.
I liked you brought the Russ thing up because he outdueled Peyton Manning in that Super Bowl.
And they blew them out.
Wasn't that the year Peyton threw like 50 touchdowns
Yes.
and set the record?
Peyton
Nobody's
was
arguing
better.
Russell Wilson's better than Peyton Manning.
Well,
it's okay, though.
yeah.
Russell won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Are you guys done?
Yes.
Okay.
For now.
It goes Jalen Hurts,
Yeah.
and then that's all that matters.
That's great.
Because
Stop,
when you
stop.
get him under center, if you ever are under center,
No,
you're in a
which
good
they're not.
you're in a good position to win. I mean, every single
That's
week I feel
correct.
great
I
because
agree.
my
Well,
quarterback
yeah.
I
is at
agree.
the top of the league.
Totally agree.
And he is in charge, and
Agreed.
his demeanor. I mean, it's just so encouraging.
And
to
that's
the
okay
room.
to
it's just elite.
That's
He's
okay
got
to leave it
elite-
there, though.
He's the
elite
best-
aura. Okay, and that's why they win.
All right, let's
On top of his skill set.
Let's find some common ground. He's the best quarterback in Eagles history.
Well, of course.
Yeah, I mean,
and I'm
like-
a McNabbsman. I give McNabb credit that people don't. I'm a McNabbsman.
But he's
you're,
better.
Are you anti-McNabb?
No, McNabb was good. Is that anti-McNabb?
Well, without Jalen, who was the best?
Oh, Nick Foles.
Oh, okay.
And it's Nick Foles.
Well, why? Because he won a Super Bowl?
no,
So his
no,
Super
hold
Bowl
on.
matters,
No.
but my guy's Super Bowl
No.
doesn't matter.
Big game. Forget Jalen for 1 second. Big game. Who's your quarterback, McNabb or Foles? You know the answer.
Oh, yeah, I do know the answer.
It's
I know
false.
the answer.
I mean,
I know
it's-
the answer.
I always
as
thought-
you
but-
famously said, 5 through up.
5 through up.
Foles or Hurts in the big game.
Jalen's a better player.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
we're common ground
Yeah,
in this
Jalen's a
thing.
better player.
We're common grounding this
Yep.
thing if we
now,
can make that
now
a verb.
I'll be honest. If you had asked me that after the Rams game in the postseason last year, before the title game in the Super Bowl, I would have said
Oh,
Foles.
come on. It was
I would have said
snowing.
Foles.
It was snowing.
Oh, Stafford threw for 320.
It was snowing.
He got
All right.
sacked like 10 times.
Well, it was
Yeah,
tough,
snowing. Yep, that's
tough
right.
on
Yeah,
the
that's
ground.
right.
man.
Forgot
All
about
right,
that.
all right. I'm
How
glad
did we do that?
Well,
How did
We had
do
to get
that?
it out of the way.
yeah, it's almost like once a show, you got to just get it out of your system.
I guess you're right.